And that's when I first saw it. It was quite hard to see, but it's almost like I never looked at that part of my house before. It was faint, and it kind of looked like blood, but it couldn't have been. It must have been paint, but it was so dry, it must have been there for ages. And then I noticed the nail, and that space just looked awkwardly blank. It looked like a painting must have been hanging there, covering the stain. And then I remembered this painting of a bunch of flowers, but it's almost like a memory from a child, because I can't remember it ever still being up there. It's always been blank. And then I remembered we must have that painting in storage, so I went to go look for it upstairs. While I looked for the painting, I remembered this Stuart Lee joke from a while back. He said, you should never judge a book by its cover. Well, you shouldn't follow that philosophy if you're a judge at a book cover competition. And, I thought that was funny, but, on my face, I didn't show any signs of joy. That's unfortunately how the story goes, isn't it? We very rarely signal to the world that we're happy, even if we are. That's why it's so weird to type LOL on text, because the most you do is normally just, exhale out the nose a little bit. Sort of like, that was funny. So, if I ever text you LOL, I'm probably just trying to make you feel good. But I probably love you as a friend. Sorry, officer, I'll get back on track. I'm a man of imagination, you see. So then I tried to put the frame perfectly back on the wall. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous now. But there was just something wonky about it. I couldn't tell if it was to the cupboard next to it or the frame itself, or was I looking at it from a bad angle? But then I remembered it was actually the paper inside the frame, which made it wonky. But I was content with that, so just left it there. Oh, sorry, yes. So, narrative. My name is Ryan. I'm a Caucasian male of 19 years old, and my mum has just left the house to go see her new boyfriend in Mallorca, leaving me alone for 3 months. So I decided to get buff and exercise, as it's going to be the summer soon. I've been observing a lot. I got told to look after this plant, but it started seeping out blood, which is quite disconcerting. My therapist tells me not to look at those things. I appreciate art now. I'm a man of culture. I've started playing this game called Home Invasion, which basically means me imagining my home's being invaded. It's more of a tricky game than I first thought, but I'll keep on practicing. I've been experimental dancing a lot, sort of giving myself criteria that I'll be salted caramel or seaweed or liquid, and it's been feeling good. I've been moving in interesting ways. I think this was me moving like a cactus, which was, brought out the best of me. Been handstanding in aesthetically pleasing places. Been playing catch with my left hand, trying to get good, just in case I'd be told to only play catch with my left hand one day. It's a lesson I need. And the dancing sort of got out of hand a bit. It sort of ended up being all I did. I've started sort of meditating with the mache mask on and listening to the sound of ocean waves. The sound of ocean waves, I've been listening to them sort of like all day,
Battery
constantly,
is low.
actually.
Please recharge in time.
Why? Why is it so difficult? Just because you don't like it. Well, I'm sure Frank and Casey and all the other guys had a reason or something to do that you didn't like, do they? Or didn't they?
I don't let people screw with me when I'm driving, all right?
But you like people screwing with you because for whatever fucking reason, right? But your husband can't get a little action during the day, but you just sit here and act like nothing. Yes, it does. It has everything to do with it. It has everything for you to sit here and brag
Police. Well, I think I've just heard my neighbour shoot somebody. I don't want to go around and check. Well, I don't feel up to it. Look, I've got the keys. If you go round, maybe. If you go round, I've got the keys in my house. Well, I'll just leave my front door open. No, I'll let you know. I'll let you know where they are. I'll put up a sign. They're in a pot right next to the kettle, next to the coffee machine.
Right, sorry, where was I? After the experimental dancing and the meditation, that's when I heard the shouting and then the gun. Well, I left the house. Yeah, after the murder I left the house. Well, because I'm Gen Z, I can't deal with a mentally stressful situation like that. The blood stain in my house? What? You think it was me?